Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So this is the second part of the Rafiki nails. Now we did have a problem because half of my videos were deleted, so I've had to go in and recreate Rafiki on a tip and paint him up. So I have put in the last little bits of the Rafiki video. I did manage to save a couple but not the full thing, so I'll pop them in at the end just so that you can see. But yeah, I've had to do this on the other nail as well. Just paint it on the tip, recreate it on the tip and paint it. So I didn't want to let you down and not put the videos on, so I have gone and recreated them for you. So anyway, let's get on with this video and I hope you enjoy, guys. So for painting this, I'm going to be using some acrylic paints and my Crystal Nails Barbara 2 brush, as well as a cheaper brush which I found online, which is just a fine liner brush. So we're going to take some of that blue and mix it with some white to get a lighter shade, and then we're just going to paint on both of these cheek areas. So just brushing it in and making sure I manage to get into those little gaps that I created in the previous video. So because of the problem, obviously this Rafiki is slightly different from the original Rafiki, but I've done my best to try and recreate it. So they both kind of look the same once they're finished, so I apologise for that. Then I'll paint the other cheek the same way. So you need to try and give this acrylic time to dry in between, so I'm going to move on and do the nose section with this red. The paints do dry pretty quick, but I like to just keep painting so that I'm not wasting time waiting on areas to dry. So still using that Barbara 2 brush, and we're just painting all of this nose. We're then going to use some of this black and we're going to cover the whole of those eye socket areas, including the eyes at the moment, because then we could paint over with the eye colour later on. So just making sure you manage to get in all the little nooks and crannies to give this a good coat of paint, and then do the same on the other eye. So then, using that black still, we're just going to do the inside of these nostrils, just so that once the design's finished you can clearly see them and they're popping. So for the top lips, we're going to mix some of that darker blue with some white to create a lighter shade. And then we're going to paint all the lip section. So again, I'm just brushing it on quite quickly. Not worrying about how tidy I'm being, because you can come in and correct things later on. I'm just trying to make sure everything's got a good coat of that paint. So I'm just going to mix a tiny little bit more of that darker blue in, and we're going to do this eyebrow section. So again, just painting over that section. Round the eyes, I'm trying to go gentle round the eyes just so that I don't mark any of that black area. But we will come in with more colour on this section later on. So now I'm just going to paint round the rest of that tip with this black. I have mixed a little blue in just so that it kind of matches and it's not too in your face. So just marking round. Again, you don't have to be too tidy here because you are going to come in later on and do some fine hair strands anyway. Doing it in these different sections does just give the rest of that paint time to dry before you come in and work on top of it. So this is why I work this way, plus I'm not sitting waiting for areas to dry and making the design take longer. So I'm just blending some of that down onto that eyebrow section. Quite messily, but it's supposed to look like the fur anyway, so don't worry if it's really tidy. And then coming in on top with some of that blue. Now I'm doing this while this is wet just so that those colours blend together, kind of like an ombre, just to blend them in. And with that same colour we'll come underneath the eyes. Just to make them that bit tidier. And all I'm doing here is fixing over that black because there was patchy areas, so just going over with a little coat of that again. So in those little gaps that we created, we are coming in with some of that black, just so that they can really pop and you can see them more. So it's just watered down black, just so that it's nice and thin and it's not going to smear all over your nail. So that acrylic paint is now dry on that top lip, so I'm going in with my second coat just to cover up all those patchy areas and make sure I've got a good coverage, and the same on the bottom jaw. I also want to add some more tones to those cheeks, so I'm just mixing up some lighter blue and just gently brushing up in between those black lines. So I'm now going to add the eye colour, and to do that you can't quite see here, but I am mixing some white with some yellow, giving it a right good mix, and then we're just going to draw it on with that brush, so just in little circles again. So that colour there I'd watered down too much, so I need to get some more of this yellow out, just because I want it to have a right good colour and make the eyes really pop. Now it looks pretty weird when he's not got his pupils placed on yet, but once he's got his pupils placed on, it's crazy how much it changes the design. So I'm going to come in with this black again, and we're just going to section off that mouth. So basically just putting a line right through it so that you can see where they separate. And then we'll come in and fix this nose area. So I will clean my brush off and come in with more of that red paint and just do gentle strokes, little fine lines down it to blend them in and make the nose more prominent. So all I've done is just add tiny little hair strokes, I hope you could see them there. So this is just the red paint watered down again and just brushing on those tiny little lines. I do this quite quick. This is just the way I like to work. And that paint is right watered down just to create those thin lines. You're then going to do the same again, just with that watered down black wash, just to create more detail in that and make it look more fur-like. So I will come back and work on that area again soon, just letting it dry. But in the meantime, we're going to come in with that yellow again, and we're just going to do the same to the bottom of this jaw and create his little beardy bit. So again, just using that yellow and tiny thin lines painted randomly and all over the place. And as I've done before, I will use different shades, so lighters and darkers, and just keep brushing these on. So I'm just going to let you watch that at the moment. So now you're going to add some of those little fine lines and hair strokes to his eyebrow area and top of his head. So looking good so far. I'm going to allow that to dry and come in and move sections. So we're just going to add on the blacks of the eyes now. So I'm just using the same brush and just tiny little black dots is all I'm putting here on both eyes. So I do mess up this eye, so I just come in and try and tidy it up with some of that yellow paint. My paint's still wet, so I have to make sure I have enough of that yellow on my brush just to blend it out, and as you can tell, it's messy. I'm not giving the paint enough time to dry, but I wanted just to leave this in just to show you that this is why I move from section to section, because I need to allow that paint to dry before I can come in and fix correct areas. So we're back on to adding more of these fine hair strokes. So I'll do this in some of the different colours, and then I'll mark with the black paint around the top of the eyebrow to section it from the nose, and also do a little bit of the black around the nostrils just to bring them out from the nose more. So now that that paint on the eyes has had time to dry, I can come in with that yellow again and just correct the bits that I'm not happy with. So just gently going round the blacks of the eyes, just like so. It just makes it look so much better. And then I'll come in with that fine line brush and just use tiny little dots of white just to add the whites to the eyes. And it's crazy how much this changes it. As you can see, he's looking pretty cool. Well, I think he is anyway. So while I've got the white on my brush, I'm just going to add some highlights, as you can see, to these cheek area. So just little white lines just going down beside the black sectioned parts, and it makes it stand out better. And then some more fine lines on those little furry eyebrows. So I'm quite happy with how he's looking so far, so I just give that paint time to dry, and then I will come in again and go over this with the matte gel polish, and once it's been matted I'll cure it in the lamp. So just a little bit different from the original nail, which you'll see in the end of this video, but he still looks pretty cute. And then this is what he would look like on the nail. And it's pretty flat, so it is wearable. I've obviously wore these as a set, so it doesn't get stuck in your hair or anything like that. As I say, it is pretty flat, but he's pretty awesome. So I'm just going to go on now and add on some of that shiny top coat to those eyes, just to give them that little bit of a glaze, and then pop it in the lamp to cure. And this is this design finished, guys. So this is going to go into a black screen just in a second now, and then this was me doing it on my actual nail. So this was the proper Rafiki, and this is all I could save. Now this has been really sped up, as it just said there, but I just wanted to show you some of the original work that I've done and the original Rafiki. Now it doesn't look a lot different from the one that I've just done to show you my painting, but I had to add this in. Just so you did know that I did actually paint this by myself. So I'm just going to let you finish watching this, guys. I hope you ever like this. I hope you look forward to the next part of this series of nail art, which will probably be Scar, if I remember correctly. So I'll be building up Scar, sculpting him out, and then the following video will be maybe painting him, should I say. So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, guys, please do so that you can see future videos. It means the world to me, and I'll speak to you in the next video. So bye for now.
Nothing says a flavor is more than pizza, especially using new Reggie irresistible pizzas made even more authentic Italian ingredients. From harvest the very best Italian system, we basically use Italian sourdough, pasta, and generations, and top with delicious salmon sour sauce. It flavorises the tomato for a richer, sweeter flavor. That's all. Visit today, and you can pick up any 2 to 8 pounds. Slice pizza, stretch together, 60 plus 60 details.
love listening to your favourite artists, and we love listening to you. So let's talk. Click out to take part in our short survey, and you can win a month of gloriously uninterrupted music with Spotify Premium. That means you can enjoy all your favourite artists ad-free. Sound good? Then all you need to do is hit the banner now for your chance to win.